Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video I'm going to give you 7 techniques to combat Facebook ad fatigue. Facebook ad fatigue is something you really want to watch out for with your Facebook ad campaigns and make sure that your target audience aren't becoming bored with your ads, aren't becoming fatigued with them, because if they do, your results are going to drop off, and they can drop off really, really quickly when that does happen. So we've got 7 techniques here that can help prevent that. Let's get started. So number 1 is to refresh your ad creative. Now this sounds like quite an obvious technique, and it is, but it's worth including. So if you've got an offer that's working for a product or a service or something like that, you're not going to necessarily want to change that. You're going to want to keep advertising it if this worked for you in the past. But if you start to see that results are dropping off as your audience becomes bored with it, you can refresh your ad creative. You can try using different images, you can try testing different headlines, and that can give some more juice, give some more life to that offer and allow you to run it a bit longer whilst generating great results. Number 2 is to use a different ad format. So it's kind of along the lines of refreshing the ad creative, but instead of just simply changing your image or your headline or something like that, try and use a different format. So if you're using static image ads, you could try converting that into video, if that applies to your products. If you're using video, you could go to static images, you could try slideshow ads or carousel ads, but try and change up the ad format, because when your target audience see that ad again for another time, they won't immediately think, oh, that's just the same product or service I've already seen, and they'll ignore it. They will pay it a bit more attention because it looks completely different to the previous ad. Number 3 is to use the reach objective. So the reach objective helps you reach as many people in your target audience as possible. Now you might think that that's surely what Facebook's doing with your ad campaigns anyway, but they're not. If you're using, for example, something like the conversions objective, then Facebook will work out who within your target audience is most likely to take your desired action. And that might mean that only 10% or even less than that of your total target audience actually see your ad. With the reach objective, a larger percentage of your target audience will see your ad, and that means your ad's being put in front of more people. There's less frequency on your ad, and that's going to help prevent ad fatigue. So if you are starting to see ad fatigue issues, that can be a way to go. Test changing the objective in your campaigns and using reach instead. Technique number 4 is to use a frequency cap. So ad frequency refers to the average number of times someone within your target audience has seen your ad. So we tend to see results drop off when frequency reaches 2, 2.5, something like that, which means obviously that on average people within your target audience have seen your ad twice. Now, if you can use a frequency cap and say to Facebook, I don't want the frequency to go above 2, for example, you can really help prevent ad fatigue. And what they'll do is they'll put your ads in front of other people within your target audience instead of continually showing the same group of people within your target audience your ad. Number 5 is to change your target audience. Again, quite an obvious one, but worth including in this video. If you've been advertising a particular product or service to a certain audience that's been working well for a long time, and you're starting to see a drop off in results, try advertising to a different audience. One of the best ways to do that is to use a lookalike audience. So if you've got a customer list or an email list, something like that, upload that to Facebook, create a lookalike audience based off of that, and advertise to those people. If you don't know how to create lookalike audience or things like that, I'll include a link to one of my videos that shows you how to do that in the video description of this video, and you can implement that in your Facebook campaigns. But yeah, try targeting a different audience. One thing to watch out for here is audience overlap. So if you have used one interest targeting and you are going to use another interest targeting thinking you're changing your audience, but the two interests are very closely related, there's likely to be a significant amount of audience overlap. So just bear that in mind when you're changing your target audience in order to try and combat Facebook ad fatigue. Technique number 6 is to limit your retargeting budgets. So you'll hear me and a lot of other Facebook advertising experts talk about retargeting website visitors and previous customers as a fantastic thing to do on Facebook, and it is very, very profitable. Because of that, a lot of people spend a large proportion of their total Facebook ad budget on retargeting people. But that's not something that you want to do. Retargeting lists, whether it's website visitors, customer list, email list, something like that, are usually relatively small, are usually a lot smaller than cold audiences. And because of that, you can't spend too much money. If you try and spend 25, 30% of your total budget on retargeting, you're likely to see that frequency number just shoot through the roof. You can end up with frequencies of 10, 15, 20 after just a couple of weeks. So I'd recommend take a pretty small proportion of your budget and use that to retarget. Now, if you do if you check your campaigns after a couple of weeks and you can see that your frequency isn't that high, then maybe you can increase your budget. But just one thing to watch out for in terms of preventing Facebook ad fatigue is to keep those budgets relatively small when you're doing your retargeting. And finally, technique number 7 is to create holiday themed ads. So this automatically refreshes your ad creative. If you're tying your products to a specific holiday, whether that's Christmas or Valentine's Day or Easter or whatever it happens to be, you can only run those ads for so long, probably in only the couple of weeks, maybe not with Christmas, but with most of them the couple of weeks before that actual holiday. So that your ad isn't live long enough for your target audience to start to become bored with it. And when things are holiday themed, people do pay more attention to it. Mother's Day is coming up, and okay, there's a Mother's Day based ad. Yeah, I haven't bought anything for my mum yet. I'll pay attention to it and see what this is all about. That's something that we use a lot, particularly if you work with products that lend themselves quite well to that sort of stuff. So a lot of B2C e-commerce type businesses, that works quite well for. But if it does apply to your business, I definitely recommend that you give that a go. It's a great way to prevent ad fatigue, and it's a good way to boost the overall performance of your Facebook ad campaigns as well. So just before we go, there's something I want to quickly tell you about, and that's my 5-part Facebook ad template. Now this template includes some of the best performing ads that we've created for our clients in a number of different industries. If you're looking to get better results from Facebook, then I highly recommend that you go ahead and grab that. It's completely free. You can download it right now for free. All you need to do is click on the link in the video description. That'll take you to a page on the website and you will be able to download it there. As I said, it's got a bunch of different ads in it. You can model from those ads. You can work out what we've included in terms of images, headlines, things like that. Should be really, really useful. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.